First, what kind of computer do you want to build? So for me, since I have a business and I'm a student as well, you would think that I would go ahead and put two of them together. Not necessarily so. It's always a little bit better to actually go ahead and put one for each. So for gaming, because it'll have a lot more processor power, have a lot more RAM, have a lot more space to be able to handle rendering or whatnot from there. So for me, for my presentation today, I'm going to go over on building a school computer. So what kind of things do you think would go into building a school computer? Well, first things first. Case, motherboard, hard drive, optical drive, processor, of course, that's what makes it run, and CD drive. Not so much nowadays, but just in case, most computers still need a CD drive because there are still a couple of manufacturer and application managers who still put their stuff on optical drives. Or CD drives, sorry. Next thing, what to do is how to build and why. So, when I say this, what I mean is when you're sitting there with a computer like such as this, and you're sitting there going like, "Why is this happening to me?" The first things you need to do is just last things first, or the last pull. It says just have a lot of patience, and then sit there and you'll be on your static floor because any of these components that you put inside the computer are very sensitive. So if you just start working away and start putting on screws and whatnot, and you're statically charged, all those pieces that you put inside the computer are now dead. So you need to make sure that you are grounded, that you're not statically charged, and that you're around tools or whatnot that are not going to be charging your electronics use at all. Next things first is also non-magnetic tools. Now, this is true for some cases, but not true for all cases. The magnetic pull on some tools nowadays is actually very small, but can still do a lot of damage to a hard drive. Now, a hard drive, there's two different types of hard drives out nowadays. One is a rotary disk, which, if you've ever looked at someone open up a hard drive and you see like a little disk there, on the side is the little read-write arm. Underneath that's holding there is actually it's a magnet. But because of how it's placed, that has no effect on the hard drive itself. But using a magnetic tool can actually damage that read-write tool, which will actually lock up the hard drive and will be no more dead and be just no good. So, make sure no magnetic tools. Also, sometimes manufacturers forget to send you screws. So you need to make sure that you have plenty of screws to be able to tie down your motherboard, tie down your processor, tie down your hard drive, and a few other devices that you're putting inside your cases as well. And the last things first, or last things of that is just make sure to have patience. That's my job.